So let's get started building out this circuit that you see here on the schematic diagram. First thing I'll start with is the 5 volts out of the Arduino board, and we'll go into the breadboard, then ground, and into the breadboard. And let's see, for this one I will place I'm going to place my switch here. The top leg is in row 16, and so the bottom leg, that puts the bottom leg in row 18. All right. And then next I'm going to place my LEDs. Make sure that you pay attention to the orientation of your LEDs. Remember that the short leg, there's a short leg, that is the cathode. That's also the side that you'll see that's connected to the flag if you look inside of the LED. And your cathode is always the one that goes to ground. So in other words, the long side I'm gonna have in row 5. Let's do this. So then the short side, the cathode is in row 6. And second red LED, the long side, which is the anode, I'll place that in row 8. So the cathode is in row 9. And then finally the green LED, where, let's see, I'll place the anode in row 12, the long leg in row 12. Let me make sure this is all right. Okay, so let's take a look at our schematic. Notice that there's no components, no resistors or anything coming out of the 5 volts into our push button. And so since my push button is like the first leg of my push button is in row 16, then that means I could take a jumper wire. Let's see if this will be long enough. Let me grab a longer jumper wire. I'll go from, let's see, column A in row 16 all the way over to my positive column in the power bus line. Okay? So now I have the connection going from the 5 volts out of my breadboard, or that's in my breadboard, straight into the push button. So after the push button, you notice that it goes, let's see, these little arcs here that you see on the schematic diagram, that means that there's no connection here. So this wire out of the push button is actually passing. Let's see, the next thing that it connects to is it connects to a 10K ohm resistor, and it also is connected, let's see, back to the digital channel 2 on our board. So here's what we'll do. We'll take this switch. We'll go, let's see, channel 2 out. I wonder if I'll need to grab a longer jumper. So we'll go channel 2, and I'll go to, let's see, row 18, column B. Okay. And then there's also a connection from the second leg of our switch to a resistor, a 10K ohm resistor. Resistors have no polarity, by the way. And so out of this resistor into ground. Okay, so I'm going from row, actually to make this a little cleaner, I can probably just go to column C. And then I'll go into the negative channel of the power bus. All right, so that takes care of the 5 volts out through the push button into the 10K ohm resistor, and then you also have this connection to the channel 2, and then back to ground. Now the LEDs. So they're coming out of, let's see, there's coming out of channel 3 into the LED. And we'll use green. Let's say we'll go in out of channel 3, and then we'll run that to, looks like I'm gonna need a longer jumper wire here. So I'll go out of 3 into, say, row, which side is this going into? This is going into the anode, so I need to go into row 12. Okay. Next is, let's see, pin 4 into the, let's see, row 8. So that would be the anode of this first red LED. And then 5. Oops. Let me make sure that this is in 4. And then 5. And let's see, out of 5 into 5, row 5. So I'm coming out of channel 5 on the Arduino board into row 5, column A on the breadboard. Okay. All right. So just verify that you're because these are extremely close together. Verify that you are in the correct sockets on your Arduino board. So coming out of channel 2, you're going to go into the same row as the second leg of your push button switch. Then out of channel 3 into the anode side of the green LED, and out of channel 4 into the anode side of the first LED, and out of channel 5 into the second red LED. Okay. So now let's add the resistors. So if you look, all of the resistors are the same, 220 ohm, and they're going from the cathode side to ground. So the cathode side for this top red LED is in row 6. And put one leg in row 6 and then one in the negative channel. And then the second red LED cathode is in row 9. Right. And then the third one, let's see, the cathode is in row 13. Go back to ground. All right. So there it is. That completes our circuit. Okay. So again, there are multiple ways to achieve the connections between components of what you see here on the schematic, and you can use the identical one that I have, or you can come up with something different. But just verify that your connections match your schematic, and then now we are um, ready to move on and start writing the code to download into the Arduino board.